creating a podcast every day of the week, blogs, specially catered, courses, classes, masterminds. You're doing all these different things with Entrepreneurs on Fire. How can we scale our show? How can we scale our podcast to meet all these specific needs?
Should you scale? That's the question. Like a lot of people are just stressed about scaling and growing and how do I market this better? And I'm like, well, your podcast sucks. So you're going to scale and get more earbuds and earballs on this podcast that sucks. Like, how about you first focus on your craft? Like, how about you first create a good podcast? How about you first create a show worth listening to? And then things will grow naturally and organically. And, maybe you shouldn't be scaling and growing at a high speed right now because you're just not ready for it. So you need to be building the right way, not just the fast way. So when you want to, pour a ton of energy and potentially money and effort, into a marketing plan and people are going, they're like, oh, this show's bad. And then they're gone. Like that was a complete waste. Like you want to make sure that you are building the right foundation, working on your craft, honing your skills, becoming good at what you do so that when people do find your show or when people do listen, now they become your evangelists. Now they go to their friends and their family and they're talking about your show and you're getting these now organic and referral leads that are coming in and listening. Now you're growing still slowly, but you're growing the right way. And so that's something that I just want to kind of plant as a seed for people is, there's like, oh my God, John, like I'm not doubling my listens every single month. I'm like, good, because you shouldn't be. Like you're not, your show's not good enough for it yet. Like when I launched Entrepreneurs on Fire, I was a bad podcast host. Like it took me a long time to become good at my craft.
Yeah, you think about, I'm going to become a doctor. You don't just wake up one day and you start opening up someone's chest and diving in, right? Like you have to work on it. You have to hone your craft. So we've talked a lot about niching down and how important that is in a crowded space. John, what are some audio tips? What's the number one audio mistake that you hear people making in their podcasts?
As far as audio quality, I mean, one of the biggest things that I definitely see is you're just not educating your guests that are coming on. Like my guests literally get an email walkthrough of what bad audio sounds like, why you need to be having an earbud or as you have a headset, why you need to be having, an actual microphone and not just relying on your computer to do the work for you. Like I literally am educating them on that process. And I let them know, I'm like, this is for your sake. Like when you sound bad, you look bad and you sound stupid. And like, you don't want any of those things. Like this is your chance to really make a good connection, a valuable introduction to my audience. I have over 1 million listens per month. You've probably never been on a bigger stage in your life. And you probably never will again. Why would you not make the most of it?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And quite frankly, I've been using Zoom for a while, but I just kind of realized that the quality of audio on Zoom is just, for whatever reason, I think it's gone downhill because it used to be okay. It used to be decent, but I had to get off that. So now I'm using Squadcast. Yeah.
And honestly, when you reached out to me and you shared that we were switching from Zoom to Squadcast, I'm like, good for him. He's figured it out.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm a little bit inspired by listening to Entrepreneurs on Fire, right?
It sounds so good.
You know it. Okay, great. So we've talked a lot about creating a great podcast. So one of the things that you've been excellent at is converting these listeners into buyers. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is with affiliate marketing. Give me a tip. Give me a hot take. How can we convert listeners to purchasers through affiliate marketing? What makes you special? How are you executing so profoundly on that?
You just have to understand like what a funnel is. And that's the process. Is you're not just going to be like, hello, my name is John. Let's get married tomorrow. Like it has to be a process. Like you've got to be introducing yourself to an individual. You're going to be building up know, like, and trust by delivering them free, valuable, and consistent content. And then having them take that next step with a call to action that's giving them that next layer of value. And then as you build up that trust to a certain point, then you can introduce the premium offer. You can introduce the coaching. You can introduce the course, the product, the service, whatever that might be. But it's a step-by-step process. That's how you win.
Yeah, don't sell too quick. Just take him out to dinner a couple times first, right? I mean, that makes sense. Or him or her. Just take him out to dinner. Awesome. So, John, if you had to go back, start a podcast today, and it wasn't about entrepreneurship, I'm curious, what would you talk about on your podcast?
Health and wellness, just because that's where my focus is right now, and because I'm curious about it, because I'm passionate about it. it would really make for, a better show for me and for my listeners, because that's a couple key ingredients to making a good show. Like the curiosity, the passion, the excitement has to be there, as well as the value, the knowledge, the skills. But I would make sure to choose a topic within that I actually had some knowledge in as well.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Sometimes when you get so fired up about entrepreneurship, you end up losing your way and you build your own prison, which is something I think about quite regularly. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get into some quick rapid fire questions here with you, John. Best item for under $25. What do you need?
Logitech headset.
Love it. If you could wake up and only do one task for the day, what would you do?
Drink water.
It's a good one. Favorite subscription?
Audible.
Love it. And finally, if you had a billboard that could reach millions and millions of people, what do you put on your billboard?
Try not to become a person of success, but rather a person of value.
JLD said it. I agree with it. John, thank you so much for your time, brother.